OG is in the house. Welcome. Back from work. It's relaxation time. Kevin Coble is on the mound for the Mets. Has almost a 5 ERA. In reality, he was at 351, but he's been getting bombed. He's got Wheelhouse at 2 and Wheelhouse at 12. And I'm looking up his record right now. His record in reality was 6-8 after 27 starts. I don't know how that's possible, but I'm looking up his record in the replay to see where that's at. John K. Oh no, John K in the house. There he goes. So let me look in quickly. Let me give you Coble's stats so far. And this is this is me being a masochist, suffering through these games where the Mets just 2-3 games ago against LA, they took a 5-0 lead. And I had these, illusions of grandeur, of winning a game. And it was not meant to be. It was not meant to be. And so we're back for some more suffering, paying our penitence as a Met fan. Let's see now. All right, I'm looking for our boy here, using my 10-inch screen on my right, the iScore screen. Coble is 4-6. Wow, with 80 innings pitched, 4-6 with 80 innings pitched, and a 4.93 ERA. So he's due for a good game. We're going up against San Francisco. Check this out. Bill North leading it off now. He's a speedster with 58 stolen bases and 24 caught stealing. That's the coolest thing about this period, where they're stealing bases, but hey, they get caught a whole lot of times. No big deal. Joe Strain, he had 257 at-bats, 308 versus lefties, but 224 versus righties. So he's in there, I guess, because he's a good, he hits well against lefties. Jack Clark, 280 against lefties, batting third. And let me go over here so I can give you their positions. Jack Clark, I believe, is the right fielder. And batting fourth is Mike Ivy, the first baseman. Batting fifth, Darrell Evans, the third baseman. We're using payoff pitch, guys. Take a look at these cards. The Jester just did a rant, and you got to check it out. See his rant in the last couple of games as he compares Strat to payoff pitch, and he uses his own printouts, home printer printouts, and it's nowhere near the. All right, it looks like we're back. Yeah, this is a miracle. First time that so my phone ran out of battery, and this is the first time that YouTube actually gets me back to recording from where I left off. So this is a miracle. I mean, I guess YouTube is not a big enough enterprise and is not able to hire somebody to create that ability to actually, somebody gets cut off and you just go back there and it leads you back to the same place and you just continue. I mean, I guess I'm the only one who's running out of battery on the planet, right? Anyway, all right. So we are running by the lineup for the Giants, and we were up to, I guess, I don't know. Darrell Evans is batting fifth, playing third base. Herndon is in left field, batting sixth. LeMaster at shortstop, batting seventh. Dennis Littlejohn batting eighth, and Bob Nepper, he's the pitcher, and he is a 10. So we have the pitcher hitting card 10. And they're facing Kevin Coble, and we're going to get started. And that's in that 789, a tough 89 against a lefty. It's a ground that is short. Frank Taveras throws him out. One away. Joe Strain. Now we're playing this chart list, by the way. I use no charts. In play 92. Grounded is short against. Taveras to his right this time. And lets it fly and gets strained. And it's Jack Clark. Wheelhouse, 48 against a lefty. That's a deep drive to... Whoa, that's a deep drive to left field. Back goes Henderson to the track, to the wall. It's out of here. 1-0 Giants. The story of my life. Jack Clark, wheelhouse on Coble, 48 against a lefty. My goodness. And it's Mike Ivy, the pitch. Patient 20, and that's a base on ball. So Ivy manages a walk. And it's Darrell Evans. Darrell Evans has good power. Good power. I mean, versus lefties, he's 1-41. It's a 7. Tough 77. It's a fly ball center field. Mazzilli puts it away, and that retires the side, but not before the Giants take the lead 1-0. So once again, here we are behind in another game. We've lost 9 out of the last 10 games. And if you go to sports board games, I think it is, on Facebook, I posted my record. 9. Ballpark. Ooh, Ballpark against Joel Youngblood, the leadoff batter. He's playing second base today for the Mets, replacing Doug Flynn, who is just out of the lineup. I don't totally know why. So that's a 9. It's a Ballpark. It's 28. So he's a righty. It's going to be a 30, within a 33 range, 1-33. So we're going to roll now to see Wheelhouse against Bob Nipper, a lefty. 1-33, it's a home run. That usually doesn't happen. 54, right at, it misses a hit range by 1. The story of my life. Ground ball, third base. Evans dives and makes a great play and up and throws across the diamond and gets Youngblood. 1 away. Taveras. Frankie Taveras, the shortstop. In play, 22. Base hit. Taveras on with a single. Now he's a threat to steal. I'll show you how I do that. Now Taveras on his card has a little number, says 6C. All right, so I'm going to, this is his base running ability. This is his lead ability. So 6. We got to roll 6 or less, and we roll a 9, so he does not go. He stays on at first. Lee Mazzilli. Tough 70, a tough 70 versus a lefty. It's a ground ball second base. We roll the 7 on the 2D6. And that's above the 5 double play range of Mazzilli, so it's going to be a fielder's choice. A fielder's choice on a 70 is a 4-6. So Mazzilli is going to be on at first. Throw does not get him. And Mazzilli's a threat to steal. And if you look at Mazzilli's number, it's a 5, right? 5C. So let's see if he gets the... So I guess the 5 would be his... Does he get the lead? Does he get the jump? And we roll a 6, so he does not. So guys that are better base stealers are going to get the jump more often, and then they got to steal the base. If you're a really amazing base stealer, you're going to have an A. Like if, you know, I forget which guy. I think it was Davey Loeb stole 44 bases, was caught 4 times. I mean, in Lee Mazzilli's case, he stole 34 bases, was caught 12 times. So kind of, you know, he steals 3 out of every 4 times, and that makes him a C. All right, so Steve Henderson with Mazzilli on at first, and that's a 5. Tough 11, and that's going to be a strikeout. Henderson down on strikes, and that retires the side. Next is Coble versus Larry Herndon. Oh, wait a second. There's still a die locked in there. 8. That's in play 25. In play 25 versus lefties line drive. Base hit to left. Henderson plays it on a hop. Gets it in. Herndon had 8 stolen bases, so he's a threat to steal. And he's a 4. He rolled a 6. He does not steal. Johnny LeMaster. LeMaster's an A bunter. And you know what? We are going to bunt. It is kind of early. You know what? I take that back. We're not going to bunt. I didn't even see it. We're not going to bunt. Johnny LeMaster is a 9. In play 33. Anything in the early 30s could be a wild pitch, and if you look, Coble has no real wild pitches. So in play 9, in play 33. Let me push this up just a little bit here. Get the camera a little bit more. In play 33 against the lefty is going to be out. It's going to be a pop-up right side. First baseman Montanez makes the catch. Dennis Littlejohn, the catcher, who batted .208 versus lefties. And that's a wheelhouse. Wheelhouse 64. And that's a ground ball second base. That's going to move Herndon to second. Ground ball 4-3. And it's the pitcher spot. Bob Knepper. Bob Knepper's a 10. We rolled a 4. Patient 88. Patient 88. And that's a ground ball shortstop. Taveras fires to first and gets Knepper. And that retires the side. We go to the bottom of the second. Payoff pitch. One of the most amazing games. Highest quality, most reasonably priced games on the market. I own almost every single season, and I do not get paid for advertising. 9, ballpark, 88. That's going to be in play. John Stearns in the box. 12, in play 12, and that ball is lined. Base hit to left. Herndon plays it on a hop, gets it in. Stearns is on with a single. Now Stearns is going to try to steal. He's a 5. We rolled an 11, so no way, Jose. And it's Willie Montanez. Here's the pitch. He's a lefty, a 10. Wheelhouse for Montanez, 91. It's way in the out range. Ground ball second base, but a 10 isn't going to make it. It's going to be a fielder's choice. And I'll tell you why it's a fielder's choice. Let me tell you. It's a fielder's choice because we rolled a 10, right? And he's a double play 8, so that's above that. And Knepper is a double play 8, so the 10 is above that. So that makes it a fielder's choice. Had I rolled an 11 or 12, it would have been just a ground ball straight out, and the runner would have advanced to second. But that didn't happen. Okay, so it's Montanez at first now with 1 out, and Elliot Maddox the batter. Now, Elliot Maddox, a former Yankee, pretty good hitter. He batted .290 versus righties, but he's batting against a lefty. I'm starting to doubt the seriousness of the lefty-righty switches going on in the late 70s. Hey, that's... Oh, no. Okay, London in the house. I don't know. I don't know that you're in London, but what is it? UK in the house. All right. Elliot Maddox. That's a 9 ballpark. So you guys are supporting me in my losing streak, right? I've lost Manchester. Okay. Great. Oh, wait. You know what? I saw the greatest video the other day. And you're probably... I know this is fake. You know, I'm stupid, but hey, we have to sometimes... keep that naivete alive. It was Seal walking through this park in Manchester, and there's this girl playing guitar, and he says, wow. He starts filming and says, isn't she great? Isn't she great? Isn't she great? This goes on for 25 minutes that he's watching her, and she's pretty good. And then he goes up to her and says, hey, I'm Seal. He hugs her, and she hugs him, and they're hugging. He starts playing his great songs from the past. This is set up just to get him sales. I know, whatever, but it was nice. What can I tell you? Anyway, I went off on a tangent. Yeah, Seal. So he's my favorite singer now. And that was in Manchester, park in Manchester. He was asking the girl, why are you in Manchester? Oh, well, she wasn't from there. She came from there, and she was from another place. All right, so it's Elliot Maddox, and he rolls a 9. That's ballpark, and we rolled an 88. That's in play. So we're going to roll now in play, and this is what happens to me. Then I forget exactly where I was in the game. So, all right, so we rolled a 35. I may have rolled before, but God knows. It's popped up left side, Darrell Evans in foul ground. That's going to be out number 2. He waits for it. 2 down, and it's so right now, from now on, when people interrupt me or I'm interrupted by a tutorial Whatever I rolled and wherever I was, I get to replay it. Alex Trevino. Alex Trevino is the third baseman today. He's replacing Richie Hebner, who's the highest paid Met at $200,000. Yeah, 1979. Okay. How has inflation raised your salary is my question in the last, 50 years. I was making 50 years ago, I was making the same money that people are still collecting now, and they're happy about it. Listen to that. And I did not have a fancy job. I wasn't working, with a big petrol company. I was working a regular, straightforward, few hours a week yeah. Alex Trevino, 2 outs. Montanez is on at first. The pitch from Nepper, 3, ballpark again, 61. That's going to be in play because a righty goes up to 1-33 in beautiful downtown Shea Stadium. 97, that's out and beyond. Sky, left field, Larry Herndon. He pounds the glove and side retired. Kevin Coble for the Mets, 4-6 with a 4.93 ERA in our season replay. He had a 3.51 in reality and was 6-8 for the whole season. Here's Billy North. We have using our stealth tower. A lot of people ask me about it, and that's what I'm using to keep stats, my brother. It's called iScore. It's free. Get the app, and I have 2 tutorials on how to use it to do tabletop games. It does everything for me. Okay, so who's up? Bill North. Now, let's say Youngblood was up, I tap Youngblood's name. These is all Youngblood stats for the season. He's batting .244. He has 6 stolen bases and 8 home runs, 38 RBIs. Okay? Does everything for me. I don't have to write anything. To play the next game, I just have to tap, and if there's 1 or 2 changes, I just make those 1 or 2 changes, and I'm ready to roll. It saves me tons of time. Now, every so often, I'm nostalgic. I'm a sentimental guy. I'm very nostalgic, and I'll go and I have my paper score sheets here, and I'll do a score sheet, and then I'll either do it. If I'm alone, I'll do it simultaneously with this. If I'm streaming, I'll do the paper. I believe I do, but if I don't, I believe I do, but if I don't, contact me and I'll make a video just for you for that. All right, so it's Bill North, an 8 is in play 28. In play 28 against a lefty is a base hit for North. So he's on base, and that's not what we want to hear because North is a threat to steal all the way. Look, and this is what I'm teaching guys to use the. Thanks. I will watch the videos and let you know. Is that gesture? Oh my God! If that's gesture, brother, you gave me the 2 best hours of entertainment in the last year. If that's you, I can't really see that well because I'm a little blind, but and I think it's the glare from where I have my lamps. I got to change the lamp system. Anyway, I'm teaching some guys to use the fast action cards. It is gesture. Oh. All right, so you got my messages. So anyway, just let's keep that between us. I don't want to share that in public. But the steal rating, this is the lead rating, right? He gets a lead here with an 8 or less. This is Bill North. He stole 58 bases, was caught basically 1/3 of the time. So the lead, let's see if he gets a lead. And it's a 5. So he actually gets a lead, right? Because it's below the 8. So he gets a lead. Now he's a C. And the catcher is Stearns, and Stearns, from my memory, is a 3 throwing arm. So this is how I do it, all right? I just saw what you said. I didn't read the whole thing, but there's 3 options, and I think you mentioned this on your payoff pitch video. There's 3 different options. I choose this option not because it's better, just because it's the one I chose. You can't do all 3 because I'd be bouncing around. My head would be spinning. So John Stern's arm is 3. Now it's going to be a 3C, which from memory is normal. Now I promise not to use any charts. This is a chartless game. This beats every other game because it's a chartless game. Now is it better? I don't know, but it beats it in being chartless, just the cards. I don't know any other game that's just the cards. If you do, you know more than me. There you go. It's normal, so you confirm what I said. So I'm going to pull a card now, and this is where I look. There's a bunch of guys on the Payoff Pitch Sideline Strategies Delphi site that are learning to use these cards. It's got a lot of information, so it's kind of like, whoa, wait a second, where do I look? So you look under stealing, normal, he's safe. Bill North just stole second base. Now there is a way, and Baseball Demos uses it to check the hold rating on a pitcher, which Kevin Coble has a 10 hold rating. So I'm thinking that's really good, okay? So eventually I may start using that. Right now I'm not using that, but I may. It doesn't, it's just where you want to go and kind of. Anyway, so it's a stolen base for North. Steals second. And now it's Joe Strain. Now Joe Strain just showed up. He's the second baseman for the Giants. And that's a 9. In play 48. In play 48 is going to be a ground ball third base. Trevino looks north, back to second, fires to first. 1 down. Jack Clark. Now, as I go, Jack Clark is already in a sleeve. I'm using these sleeves. Let me show you, because guys have asked me about that. I'm using these baseball card sleeves. And not for every guy, because if I don't use you, like you're in this pack right here of like this huge pack, right, Jester? Of, I don't know, like tons and tons and tons of cards. Yeah, that's too fast for me, man. That went fast. Anyway, there's a lot of cards. And not every player gets put into a sleeve, okay? Because I don't use all my sleeves. I may only use you once as a pinch hitter, so why am I going to have you in a sleeve? But if I'm handling you and abusing you, and I don't want to get arrested for that, well, I'm going to put you in a sleeve to protect you, to keep you nice, crisp, and clean for somebody else. When I die, these are not going to go in my coffin. I'm leaving these out of my coffin, and I don't know that my kids. I don't know if my kids are going to want to roll all afternoon. They may not. If they do, great. If they don't, that's okay too. I got some cat hair and stuff. Anyway, so then I'm keeping them for the next guy, or maybe they'll go in a museum someday and they'll be like, look at how this guy kept his cards pristine. Jack Clark steps in the box, right-handed batter. Kevin Coble. The score right now is 1-0 Giants. They scored a run in the first on a home run by someone. That's an 11. Defense. Okay, this is another question that people ask me. How do you use defense? All right, great. So I rolled defense on Kevin Coble's card. Here you go. Look at that. Defense 11. I rolled an 11. Defense. Now my other roll was 31. Now he doesn't have a wild pitch rating there, so I don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to pull a card. And I'm going to look defense. Defense is right here, right across. It says range P, so it's a range. Now I have to use this card. It seems like really complicated using 3 cards, but it's not. Actually, yeah, 3 cards, but it's not. So range P, I'm going to look here in the range section. Now the first thing I do, which is really the trick to playing chartless, or to helping the game move along, 31. 31 falls within. Now let's say it had been below 24. 1 to 24 is A. That's the best possible range that you can have. Okay, that's like Brooks Robinson range. 1 to 24. And if it's an 11, well, guess what? Brooks Robinson just let a ball get by him somehow. Okay, he must have been looking at his wife in the stands. I don't know, who's wearing a low-cut blouse. I don't know, I don't care. But he let a ball get by him. If it's above 63, which is the worst, I don't even have to look. All I do, I pull the next card, and the next card will tell me, hey, it was a range pitcher. That means he actually made the play in the story, okay? So it's a pitcher. It's a number that the pitcher could be this. I don't know. It falls within the hit range. So I got to look at Nepper. Nepper right here is a fielding C. Most pitchers are fielding C. 1/43, and I rolled a 31. That says there's been an error. Now, this card told me it was the pitcher, to check the pitcher, which I did. I'm going to put that aside and pull another card, and it's going to tell me the type of hit that it was. It's a single with 1 star, because that's the pitcher, you see? Second base, shortstop, pitcher. All right, so I may have gone fast, but I'm going to keep doing this on my videos for a little while. And so it's basically a single. Single gets by the pitcher under his glove, does not react quick enough. Hard hit. And now, wait a second, right? Wait a second, because I have a hit, and it was a 1 star. So North, who's in at second with 1 out, is going to hustle and get to third. All right, so it's first and third. Jack Clark is on at first, and Jack Clark is in 11. Now, this is where I have to be careful and slow down, because I get ahead of myself, and then I mix up. So he's a potential to steal, and early in the game, he's going to try to steal with 1 out, because that will be second and third. There'll be runners in scoring position for 2 consecutive batters. And Mike Ivey's up next. Mike Ivey versus lefties is a .336 batter. All right, so we're going to try to steal against John Stearns, who's a decent catcher. Now, for Clark, and I got to bring this up because I don't know that you can see that. Yeah, it is. It is. Cobal's pitching, right? Cobal's pitching in this game number 85, against the first game of a 4-game set against the Giants. And this, I believe, is July 13th, 1979. Where were you July 13th, 1979? Like half you guys are like, oh, I wasn't born yet. I was in the crib. Yeah, I did. Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. You see that? Okay. So I did check Nepper's, and I do that quite often. And you caught my mistake. So he's a B, right? He's a B, and guess what? This changes the whole scenario. Wait, but we rolled. What was the roll? It was I think it was a 31, right? So it's still a hit. See that? I did check the other pitcher's range. I'm sorry. So when I start doing the tutorials, I totally forget, and I just focus on getting the accuracy of the information versus the accuracy of what player I'm using. So yes, thank you. You corrected me. All right. So it is still a hit. Everything's on. Where was I now? Now you totally threw me off. Starting high school in Blackpool. Okay. All right, brother. All right, so Jack Clark is going to try to steal. That's where we were. We looked at his steal rating. It's a 4. It's a 4, so we got to roll 2d6, 4 or less for a steal to happen. And that's a 4. Look at that. Okay, so Jack Clark is going to go. He's a C versus Stearns. Oh, I see why that happens. Okay, I always do that. All right. Because I look for the fielders here. Okay, this is what happens. I look for the fielders here. But when I'm looking for the pitcher, I also go there, and the pitcher is the opposite team's pitcher because I keep it with that set. So maybe I need to do something different. I don't know right now what I'm doing, but maybe I need to keep it at the bottom. Anyway, all right, so Stearns, let me show you his arm. We just did this. His arm is a 3. We rolled a 4, which is Clark says he gets the jump, and he's going to steal. A C3 is normal. We're going to pull a card. We're going to look at the base stealing section. Normal, he's safe. So Clark steals a base. Clark steals a base. You know, a lot of times you make mistakes, and really the difference is very small. And you know what? In reality, man, there's a lot of big mistakes that are made constantly. So I say that to myself, but I get mad at myself because I'm not more careful. And, you know. So anyway, Mike Ivey, second and third. Mike Ivey is up, steps in the box. Mike Ivey bats .336 versus left-handers, and the Mets are going to walk Mike Ivey. Intentional walk to Ivey. I didn't look at who's next and what his batting average is, but it can't be .336. There you go. All right. So It's Darrell Evans. He's a left-handed batter. He's the third baseman for the Giants in 1979. Let me give you his stats. He hit 17 home runs, drove in 77. I have the splits, and in this game, the averages are separate. But based on the numbers, he batted 259 versus righties, 237 versus lefties. He batted about 248 from just my amazing math skills. He batted about 248 with 17 home runs, so he's got some power for that era. And he's got the bases loaded with only one out. It's only the top of the third inning, so the Mets are going to play the infield back. They're hoping for a double play, even though he's not a really double play guy because he's a 5. And if I roll over a 5, it won't be a double play. Whereas my pitcher, Coble, is an 8. Okay? And that's a whole nother thing. All right, so we just roll. That's a 3. It's tough on Coble's card. A tough 65. Tough 65 versus a lefty is outside of any hit range. Takes us to a ground out to short. And we rolled a 3. Guess what? That's a 6-4-3. Taveras, Youngblood, Montanez, and the Mets are out of the inning. That worked out perfectly. Now, that just goes to show you this is proof positive, and this is being recorded that I am an amazing manager despite having 6 more losses than Torre had at this same time in 1979, as I do in the replay. So it's an out. It's a ground out 6-4-3 double play. And, oh, wait, I'm going to undo that because the way I got to do it. Let me show you how I do this double play. So here you go. Bases loaded. Darrell Evans at the plate. He's going to ground sharply to Frank Taveras at short. Taveras is going to go to Youngblood and back to Montanez. So you click. Let me click on this for you. Out. Now it says, okay, it's a ground out. To who? 6-4-3, right? And now it says, okay, this guy did not score. Run did not score because obviously it's a double play, so he's not going to get scored. The runner on second advances to third, but now this runner is going to be out at second base, and then the runner at first base, you click double play. You don't have to do anything for the runner at first base. Once you hit double play that the runner's out at second, they understand you threw it to first. And this is a beautiful system, man. This is a free app, okay? Very easy to learn, and I'm still working on it. I mean, it took a while, but it really works. And then it tells you now. Look, it keeps track of everything. You just got to be careful to input everything. Sometimes you get sidetracked. Kevin Coble's up, Bob Knepper tells you everybody's on the field and so forth. It's better than me having to write everything because I can't visualize. When I've got paper and pencil, I mean, I can't visualize this, okay? I love paper and pencil, but I can't visualize this. It's just a little bit harder to do that, okay? So Darrell Evans grounds into a double play, side retired. It's 1-0 Giants. If I lose this one, I mean, I'm considering harakiri. And that's how we Americans say it's not a pretty ending for me with a samurai sword. Pitcher hitting card. Kevin, who's up? Knepper. And I put that in the back because I got mad at myself. All right. I usually put it on top, and that's why I go there because roll. 8. In play, 33. It's up to 30 on the wild pitch, but there's nobody on base anyway. And Knepper, Coble, who's up. Where do I do my boy Coble? There he is. Coble is a batting 9. So we're going to look at the 9 side, and that's an 8. In play, 33. That's an outrange. Ground ball back to Knepper. Feels his position. Fires to first. 1 down. Coble is retired. Youngblood, who's 0 for 1. That's an 11. In play, 85. In play, 85. Way outrange. Grounder to short. Johnny LeMaster throws on the run and gets Youngblood by half a step. And Taveras, who's singled, he's 1 for 1. That's a 10 wheelhouse, 76 against a lefty. Fly ball center field, Bill North. under it, puts it away, 3 up, 3 down. Bob Knepper dominated the Mets in that inning. Larry Herndon, it's a 5, ballpark 45, a righty in ballpark. Every ballpark is different. That's the great thing about this game. You got to pay attention to that. You don't know what's going to happen. It's outside the range, so it's in play. So we're rolling for in play 78. In play 78 on Herndon's card. That's going to be a fly ball, center field. Mazzilli back. 2 down. Johnny LeMaster. LeMaster's 0 for 1. He flied out on his first at bat. It's a 4, patient. A patient 26, and that's line drive, base hit. And that's going to roll to the wall. Mazzilli after it. Around first is LeMaster, and he's into second with a 2-out double. So he's in scoring position for Dennis Littlejohn. Now, Dennis Littlejohn bats 208 versus lefties. We're going to roll for him. 6, in play 85. In play 85. Grounder, 1 hop to Taveras. And he fires the first. And that retires the side. Wait a second. Let's go back. There's 1 out. Excuse me. 1 out. So Taveras looks LeMaster back to second. Fires the first. And it's Bob Knepper. 2 out. Knepper with a runner on second. It's a 9. Now Knepper is a 10 batter. So we're going to look in this column, pitcher hitting card. I much prefer this over having 1,000 cards for pitchers. 9. And that's in play. We rolled a 53. In play 53, a 9 is going to be an out. Fly ball right field. Maddox, he's there. Retires the side. So Coble allows a double, and the Giants leave a man on. And after 3.5, it's 1-0 Giants. It's Lee Mazzilli, the Mets' best hitter. That's a 5. That's a tough 98. Fly ball left field. Herndon back. And he puts that away. 1 down. Steve Henderson. Henderson is 0 for 1. He struck out in his first at bat. That's in play 13. Line drive, base hit. Henderson on with a single now. Henderson, we're going to try to steal. He's a 4B, so he's got a good percentage. So when you have a good percentage, you're going to be a higher letter grade. So we're going to roll the 2d6, and that's an 8, so he does not go. Henderson does not get the jump, if you will. John Stearns. Stearns is 1 for 1 with a single. That's a 6, patient, a patient 92. Patient 92. And that's going to be a line drive. Now, why is that a line drive? Because I use the modification for earlier seasons that they have on Sideline Strategies. If you go there, there's a little mod, and I'll explain it to you. It's nothing big. Any outs on these last 4, or I'm sorry, on these last 5 sections that end in the last number, the first 2 become pop-ups. In other words, the top one and the bottom one are pop-ups. The middle ranges are line drives, and the center is going to be another pop-up, but to the shortstop and the second baseman. Just a way of diversifying the outs, because a lot of the outs are in the upper half that don't always come out very often. So that's going to be a line. I believe it's a line drive 92. That's the last number. So it's going to be a line drive to short. So I'm going to put line drive 6. Henderson holds up. And with 2 outs now, it's Willie Montanez in the bottom of the 4th. 1-0. The Mets are down. That's 8. In play 10. In play 10. That's going to be a base hit. We're going to use a fast action card right on here. Single into the gap. Runner on first advances 1 base. But there's 2 outs. It's a simple rule to follow. There's 2 outs. Henderson is more than a 6. He's a 7. So he's going to hustle. He was on the run with 2 outs, and he's going to go to third. First and third. So Elliot Maddox, the batter with 2 outs, runners on first and third. Montanez takes his lead off first, Henderson off third. Now, Maddox bats 240 versus righties in 100 at bats. Not too bad. 11 in play, 14. I already know. That's going to be a ball blooped into right field. Runner on first advances 2 bases. Runner on second scores. So Montanez is going to hustle. Tying the game by scoring is Henderson. So Maddox, a 2-out single, ties the game. And Montanez goes to third. That's how you use the fast action cards with the hits. I may have gone a little bit fast on that. Try to slow down next time. So there's 2 outs. Trevino first and third. And Trevino's 0 for 1. He flied out in his first opportunity. That's a 6. A 6 is patient. 28. A patient 28 is a base on ball. So Trevino walks. Bases are now loaded for the Mets. And up to bat, Kevin Coble. He's a 9, which isn't too shabby. So he's a 9. And 1 to, let's see, in tough, it's, he's got a hit 90 to 91. In play, he's got 1 to 25. Wheelhouse, he would have 1 to 25. So let's see what happens. Coble is batting with the bases loaded. It's too early in 1979 to replace a pitcher who's pitching pretty well. So that's a 10, Wheelhouse. And unfortunately, we rolled a 71. That's way out of range, and that's going to retire the side. Skied North in center. Bill North, ex-Oakland A, makes the catch. But the game has been tied by the Amazons. Scores 1-1 after 4 innings of play. We go to the top of the 5th. Bill North. Going to start moving a little bit faster now. That's 4. That's patient 56. A patient 56. That's a base on balls. And North always a threat to steal. 8 or less. We just rolled a 9, so he does not go. Joe Strain, who's an A bunter, is going to bunt. Now, this is how you use the fast action cards to bunt. It's how simple. I promise you guys, no charts. I keep my word. So he's a B bunter. I'm sorry, an A bunter. So I'm going to look at the bunt section. Sacrifice bunt. Yes, you do look in that section for a bunt. It says sacrifice hit, and it tells you who it went to. So it's a bunt. Coble picks it up, fires to first, and it's a successful sacrifice. 1, 2, 4. Second baseman was covering first. That advances North to second. Jack Clark. Clark is 2 for 2. He hit a home run. In the the first run of the game was Jack Clark's home run, and now then he singled after that, and now he's up with a runner at second. We're going to pitch to him, and that's a 4. I don't know if you can see it in there. Sometimes it gets stuck inside the tower. 4 is patient. A 92, a patient 92 goes up to 71, so that's going to be a line drive caught by shortstop Taveras. And back to second is Bill North. 2 outs, Mike Ivy. Ivy's 0 for, basically he's walked, once he walked and the other time he was walked intentionally. But we're going to pitch to him this time. We're fearless. 4, patient 75. Patient 75 goes up to 51 versus a left-handed pitcher. And that's going to be a fly ball center field. Mazzilli back and makes the catch, and that retires the side. So the Giants leave 1 in scoring position, and it's 1-1 to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Joel Youngblood. Here's the pitch to Youngblood. That's a 5. Tough, 62. And that's outrange, and that's going to be popped up right side. First baseman, Ivy, he's there. 1 away. Taveras is 1 for 2. That's a 5. That's tough, 85. That's out. Grounded is short. LeMaster gets rid of it quickly and throws out Taveras by a step. Taveras can hustle down that line, a speedster. He's acquired from Pittsburgh early in the year. 7, tough, 48. A tough 48 is a line drive base hit from Mazzilli. Mazzilli strokes one to left, and he may take off or get the lead. Let's see. It's a 7. He is a 5. 5 or less would get him the potential steal. Not totally the steal, but the potential steal. He does not get that number, so we're going to roll for Henderson. 2 outs. Mazzilli's on at first. Patient 20, and that's a base on ball. So Henderson walks. Runners on first and second now. Now this is the situation. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. Henderson is on at first. Mazzilli is on at second. Stearns is the batter. He's 1 for 2. He singled and hit a line drive. So he steps in the box. Here's the pitch from Nepper. It's a 5. Tough 33. I look at the wild pitch. It's only 30, so it's not going to be a wild pitch. A 33 on Stearns' card under tough. Let's see what that becomes. Strikeout. Stearns goes after that high heat. The high cheese sandwich. That retires the side, and for the Giants here in the top of the 6th, it's going to be Darrell Evans against Kevin Coble. Coble was a decent pitcher for the Mets in '79. Pretty good. I think he's the second best pitcher they have on their staff with a 3.51 ERA and a 6-8 record. That's an 8 in play, an in-play 36 against a lefty. It's popped up. Second base calls for it, and Youngblood puts it away. Larry Herndon. That's an 8 in play, 19. That's going to be a line drive base hit to left for Herndon. Henderson plays it on a hop. Now, Herndon may steal. He had 8 stolen bases. He's a 4, and we roll a 7, so he does not go. Johnny LeMaster. You know what? We're going to... Johnny LeMaster is a 230 hitter, but 298 versus lefty, so he's going to bat. 8 in play, 96. In play, 96. Fly ball, left field, shallow left. Two down. Dennis Littlejohn. Littlejohn 208 versus lefties. Here's the pitch. Herndon takes his lead off first. 7 tough. A tough 66. And that's going to be a strikeout. So John down swinging. And that retires the side. How did that happen? Where's John? There it goes. All right, Bob Nepper on the mound for the Giants against Willie Montanez. Montanez is 1 for 2. We're in the top of the 7th. It's a 1-1 ball game, and that's a 6. A patient 85. Grounded to second. Joe Strain up with it. Throws him out 4-3. Elliot Maddox, who's 1 for 2. Ballpark 60. That's going to be in play, because the ballpark for a righty only goes 1 to 33. We rolled a 60, so it's in play. In play 61. In play 61 is a fly ball right field. Jack Clark. 2 down. Alex Trevino, 0 for 1. 3, ballpark again, 33. A ballpark 33 against a lefty. We got to look at ballpark. And he's a righty, so 33 just does it. Look at that. So against a lefty, he has no home run opportunity because he hit no home runs against lefties. So it's a 1 to 37 for some sort of hit. And we rolled them all, but it's a 33, and that's going to be a base hit single for Trevino. Trevino, is he a threat to steal? He had 2 stolen bases. You never know what'll happen. That's a 3. Look at that. Unfortunately, he's a D. I can't control that. You know, if it's a time in the game where, hey, this could help, and this could help right now. So we're going to look at Dennis Littlejohn. I don't really know his arm. I should know his arm, but I don't really know his arm. But now I do. I know he doesn't have a very good arm. He's a 4. So a D4 is probably, I'm going to guess, and I'll show you how I'm going to do it. It's probably a normal. I'm not absolutely sure it's a normal. I promise you no charts. That's the one thing I do look at. I'd like to have it like right here, like a sticker. And I'm going to tell Joe over at Payoff Pitch to create a little sticker so you can put it on something, and it just reminds you of what that is so you can make sure. But eventually I'll memorize all the letters. But a D with a 4 arm is probably a normal, but it could be a very good. But I'm going to check. Let's pull a card and let's look at the stolen base section. Very good is out. Doesn't matter. Look at this card I pulled. Out, 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 out. Little John throws out Trevino. And with the pitcher batting lefty, it's going to be the shortstop covering. So Trevino is thrown out, stealing 2-6, and that retires the side. And that's how we roll. That is how we roll. Kevin Coble. Against Bob Knepper. Knepper is a 10 batting. It's 1-1 in the bottom of the 6th. No. Hold on. It's, let's see. An 11 defense. Coble's on the mound. Knepper's batting. An 11 defense, 27. Now, let's look at defense. 27 falls within both the range of error and the range, the hit. We're going to pull and see who it's against. It's second base. All right, range second base. You see that there? All right. So we know we're going to check the range on the second baseman, and that's going to be Youngblood, who doesn't play second base very often, so he's a D range. He's a D range. We rolled a 27 under a D range. That's going to be a base hit. Now, what kind of hit? This is going to tell us. The card is going to tell us. It's a hit. He's a second base. It's a single with 2 stars. There's nobody on base, so the 2 stars don't matter. Knepper is on with a single. That was the top of the 7th. Okay, that's what I thought. So after 6, it's 1-1. We're in the top of the 7th. Knepper's on at first, and Bill North. And this is what's fascinating, guys. Guys like Bill North, who's a speedster center fielder, you'd think he's like an A bunter. He's an F bunter. There's so many guys like this. I don't understand that. You'd think that, he's got tremendous speed. He's the Flash, and he's not an A bunter. I would be bunting all the time. Anyway. So we're going to have to hit away because, we could bunt. You know what? Let's just bunt. It's in the top of the 7th. North bats. Oh, look at what North bats versus a lefty. 356. Guess what? That's all she wrote in this game, because I can't keep on losing games. So who pitched in this game? Let me look, and I do what ID Jester does. He explained it perfectly, and he basically does what I do, and that is look at the box scores. So in this box score, who pitched? It was Allen. So we're going to pull Neil Allen, out of this plethora of cards, of pitchers, of pinch hitters that you get for a very, very reasonable price at an amazing card quality. If you're still here, ID Jester, dude. Okay, it's like a almost a semi-gloss, super duper thick. Okay, versus if I showed you it's like apples to oranges, man. It's in a different league. The quality of payoff pitch cards, they're really the best. They're the top of the. They set the bar in the industry for cards, as far as I know. I've been trying to get History Maker Baseball, and I've talked to their main man over there multiple times to please do a custom set of cards or just a special order set of higher quality cards for, like, let's say the 2019 season comes out. Spend a little bit more, get a little bit better set of cards, and charge more. And I'm telling you, I know I'll pay it. Charge a little bit more, and you sell some extra cards and you make people happy. I have a lot of their cards, but not History Maker Baseball. Not History Maker Baseball, because I really like them. I think it's super creative what they do. And they're not only baseball, they're about a lot of games, so I love that. And I know they spend a lot of time on everything, and they love all the sports, and they love just the gaming, the idea of gaming and having fun on the tabletop. But there's some companies that are foul balls. And I think I basically see their cards almost the same as I see toilet paper, okay? And I think I'm going to do a comparison video of toilet paper to some companies out there. Not to name any companies, I don't want to be hateful. But if a name comes to your mind, hey, that's not my problem. Okay, so Neil Allen is going to come in. We got to get a right-hander coming in. Neil Allen is going to come in. And we're not doing a double. You know what? We have to do a double switch here. Let's undo that. Unfortunately, it's going to take about a minute. And I'll show you. You know what? I'm going to teach you how to do a double switch. That's one of the more complicated things. It took me a long time to learn. So we're going to replace Coble. We click on Coble, and we're going to bring in Neil Allen. Neil Allen. Oh, no, that's the wrong guy. Neil Allen. See, I just clicked on Neil Allen. So then I click Save, or press on Save, whatever you want to say. And, so Neil Allen is in there, but he doesn't have a position to bat. So we're going to bat him. We're going to bring in Bruce Beauclair. Even though, you know what? Yeah, we're going to. Who else did the Mets have? Because Beauclair's the lefty. Gil Flores. We're bringing in Gil Flores, but I don't know what position Gil Flores plays. So hold on a second. Gil Flores, if he can play an outfield position, because I want to replace. There he was. Gil Flores is a right fielder, perfect, and he actually has really good range and a great arm. All right, so he's going to replace Elliot Maddox. So that means we're going to put Neil Allen in Elliot Maddox spot of 7. So we click on Allen, then we go up here where it says offense. Offense, we're going to put him number 7. It jumps to tell me that, hey, Elliot Maddox bats as number 7. What are you doing? Well, what I'm doing is putting Neil Allen there. So I click on Allen. It says include defensive sub. No. Save. So now Allen, and it shows up here. Look. So you can confirm what you did. Now in right field, I'm going to bring in the person I said I was going to bring in. And that was Gil Flores. So he comes in. And now Gil Flores is going to, I'm going to do the same thing. He's going to bat 9th. And it tells me you have Coble batting 9th, but Coble's out. Doesn't know that until I put Gil Flores in there. Boom, done. Gil Flores is in the outfield, and he's batting 9th. See that? That's how you do a double switch. That took me like a year to learn. So now you guys have evidence of how to do it. And, okay. Got to get going soon. I got to go see a game. So Neil Allen's going to pitch to Bill North. Bill North now bats 225, and he's going to bunt now. So Bill North bunts. He's an F, and they get the lead runner. Look at that. So it's back to the catcher. Well, back to the catcher. John Stearns fires to second, and it's a force out. So it's going to be a fielder's choice. It's going to be 2-6. Fielder's choice out at second. And that's going to be 1 away. Joe Strain, the batter now. Joe Strain versus righties, 224. Much better now. 6. Tough. 57. A tough 57 versus a righty is going to be a fly ball to right. For like 15 minutes. Fly ball to right, and that's going to be 2 outs. And it's Jack Clark. Clark is 2 for 3, home run, single, and a line drive. That was caught by, I believe, the shortstop. 10. I could look that up, by the way, but I'm not going to bother. In play, 10 in play 21. So it's in play against a righty 21. We're going to pull a card to tell us what that is. It's a soft blooper into short left field. Runner on first is going to advance 2 bases. Had he been on second, he would score. That's how you use the fast action card. No charts, guys. Okay? Keeping my word so far. Mike Ivy. 7. Tough. A tough 95. Hallelujah. Mets are out of it. Fly ball, left field. Henderson tracks it. Side retired. Leading off for the Mets here in the bottom half of the 7th inning in a 1-1 game is going to be Gil Flores. He replaced Elliot Maddox in right field. Here's the pitch from Bob Knepper. We're in the bottom of the 7th, a 1-1 game. It's a 9 ballpark. A ballpark 49 is going to be outside for a right-handed batter. It's going to be outside that range, so it's in play. So in play against a lefty, 1-21 is going to be a hit. And that's a 0-0. Okay, so I have to look at the chart now. I don't have, that's the only number that forces me to look at a chart. So I have to break my pact. And I have to look at the chart. And it's a rare play with a runner on, no runners on. No runners on. So actually I have a special chart for that. Special chart for that. No runners on. Yeah, let me see if I can track it. Oh, wow. I don't even know if I can track it. Oh, here it is. Okay, I don't know. I got this somewhere. I think it's on Sideline. If you go to Sideline Strategy and you check out, ask around. I can't remember where it is. Or it's on the, go to Sideline Strategy website, free stuff, and I think you'll find it there. So it's basically a bases empty rare chart with lots of, has a lot more results. Has 66 results, and I use my Apodice for that. And what I mean by Apodice is that 51, a large and a small one. 51, batter with 2 strike counts swings at wild pitch. He is struck out, but reaches first base on a wild pitch. Pitcher charged with an error. I love that. So I guess it's a wild pitch and an error. I never had that happen. I don't understand that. But anyway, Gil Flores, it's going to be a wild pitch. Or is it an E1? Does anybody know? That's not an error. Okay, so it's a wild pitch and he reaches base on a wild pitch, but it says E1. I guess maybe that's wrong. I don't know. Mistake on the chart. Gotcha, John. Thank you, my brother. All right, so it's, I guess, what do you call it though? It's, you reach on a what? Do you reach on a wild pitch? I mean, usually it's a strike. When it's a pass ball, it would be an error on the catcher. Like it's a third strike missed by the catcher. I don't know. I don't know how to create that in the. I won't be able to do that I know of. How would I do that? Wild pitch with nobody on. Doesn't even give me. In play, let's see. Hit by wild pitch, third strike. Oh, look at that. I'm wrong. Look at that. Wild pitch, third strike. Runner held up. Wow. And I was baffled by it. And look how simple that was. There you go. Live and you learn. Okay. So Youngblood now. Youngblood's a real good bunter. He's an A bunter. He's going to bunt. And an A is a sacrifice hit to the third baseman. Third baseman over to first. And Flores gets the second on the sacrifice. And so Frankie Taveras now. Bob Knepper, pitcher. Now Knepper had 6 complete games, 8. In play, 93. In play, 93 against a lefty. That's going to be a ground ball to short, but LeMaster looks Flores back and fires to first and gets Taveras. 6-3, 2 outs now. And now it's Lee Mazzilli. We're going to walk with Mazzilli because Lee Mazzilli is the Mets' by far best hitter. So we're going to walk Mazzilli. And and it's going to be Stevie Henderson. Henderson versus lefties bats .395. So we're going to bring in a righty. And I'm looking at the guys who actually pitched for the Giants. And it was a guy named Minton. Now, I don't know if Minton's a lefty or a righty. If he's a righty, I'm bringing him in. Minton was the first guy that pitched in this game. Craig Minton, he's a righty. Look at that. You got everybody in payoff pitch. That's the beauty of it. And there's no double switches here, so he's not due up in the next inning. So Minton, we're going to write Minton in. And, we're going going to have to write him in. I thought I could just click him, but he's not on here. I've never used him before. So Greg Minton. And now we're going to punch him in, click on him, and save, and now he's in the game. He is in the game. All right, and here's going to be runners on first and second, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th, 1-1 game. Steve Henderson steps in the box, right-handed batter, batted .260 versus righties. Gil Flores takes his lead off second, Lee Mazzilli off first. Here's the pitch from Minton, 6 in play, 24 against a righty. It's going to be a base hit, hard grounder into left field, and runner on second advances 1 base. But remember, there's a rule that says if he's a 6 or better, he scores with 2 outs. We have to see Gil Flores. Gil Flores is a 4, so maybe we should have brought in a pinch runner. Was not aware that he was that slow. I was under the impression it was pretty quick. So he's going to have to stop. Had this card said he scores, he scores. But he does not. So bases are loaded. Oh, man, that's a major dropping of the ball by the tabletop manager, Combat Painter. And now the bases are loaded. And with 2 outs, it's going to be John Stearns. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Here's the pitch. He bats .241 versus righties. Craig Minton on the mound, 6 in play, an in play 82. And that's going to be a ground ball to LeMaster. He flips to Strain at second. And that's a 6-4. What'd you say, brother? Can you repeat that again? I'm sorry. I was looking at the cards and I missed that. So, top of the 8th, 1-1 ball game. Neil Allen facing Darrell Evans. The pitch, 9. In play, 0-9. In play, 0-9. That's going to be a line drive base hit to right. So Evans, not a fast runner. He'll be on at first. And Herndon, an F bunter, bats .258 versus right. He's going to try to bunt. An F is a miss. If he misses again, he's out. It's a lead. They get the lead runner. It's going to be 2-6. So it's a fielder's choice. So again, the Giants fail to move the runner over. It's a fielder's choice. And Herndon is on at first. Now Herndon is going to try to steal. That's an 11. Nowhere near. He needed a 4, so he does not go. And it's Johnny LeMaster now. 1 out, top of the 8th, 1-1 game. Herndon is on at first. Johnny LeMaster, the batter. Johnny LeMaster batted .230 versus righties. Neil Allen is on the mound for the Mets. 7. Tough, 74. And that's in the out range. That's going to be a fly ball center field. Mazzilli's there. Pounds the glove, puts it away. 2 out. And now it's Dennis Littlejohn. That's a 7, tough. And that's a 99. A tough 99 is a fly ball to left. Henderson retires aside. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The Amazons are tied at 1 apiece. Greg Minton. Now I'm going to put him, I'm going to use a sleeve on him. These are the sleeves I used. I've showed you guys that. You can get them very, very, very cheaply on eBay. Minton, I've been kind of tossing him around so to protect him from the natural oils of the hand, the grease, the dirt, that's all that. I'm going to put him in a sleeve now that I know that I'm using him. And he's going to pitch against Willie Montanez. That's an 8. An 8 is a tough. A tough 13 is going to be a strikeout. Montanez down swing. And now it's a pinch hitter because it's the pitcher hitting card. And normally I bring in a guy named Ed Kranepool. Everybody knows Ed Kranepool. Love bringing in Ed Kranepool. He pinch hits all the time. A fan favorite, as you can tell by the crowd cheering. So Ed Kranepool comes up, and we rolled already, so it's going to be a 10, a tough 68, a tough 68, and that's an out. Grounded is short. LeMaster fires to first. 2 away. I have a new pitcher, and I'm looking at the pitchers that the Mets used. Glynn is going to be next. Ed Glynn. And it's Alex Trevino. And that's an a tough 70. It's a grounder to second, Joe Strain. Oh, wait, 70? Yep. 4-3 if you're keeping score at home. And that retires the side. Leading off is going to be Greg Minton. Okay. So we're going to have to bring in a pinch hitter now. Pinch hitters in this game for the Giants were Andrews, a guy named Andrews. So Minton is going to be out. I'm going to look for Andrews here. Rob Andrews, new pitcher for the Mets, is Glynn. Andrews is going to bat. Let's see if we already wrote him in, and we did. Rob Andrews. So Minton is out. And the new pitcher is going to be for the Giants. It's going to be a guy named Griffin. I don't know if we have him. Oh, there he is, Tom Griffin. That was easy. All right, so here goes the pitch from the lefty, Ed Glynn. That's a 6 in play, an in play 93 against a lefty. That's an out. It's a fly ball to left, Steve Henderson. 1 away. Billy North, who's 1 for 3. It's the pitch from Glynn, a 6 in play 26. In play 26 is a base hit. North may run 8 or less. And he does. And we're looking at a C. C3 is a normal. So we're going to pull a card, look at base stealing. Normal is safe. So I think that's his second steal of the game. So North is now at second with 1 out. He steals second base. And it's Joe Strain. It's a 5. In play 11. In play 11 against a lefty is going to be a sharp liner into center. Runner advances 2 bases. Runner on second scores. Giants are up 2-1. Joe Strain singles home Bill North. And that puts up the Giants up by a score of 2-1. Now Strain may steal. He had 8 stolen bases. We needed 4 or less, and we roll a 7, so he does not go. Jack Clark, the batter. Here's the pitch to Clark with Strain on at first. It's a 10, a tough 41 against a lefty. This is going to be a long single into the gap in center. Runner advances 1 base. 3 consecutive hits, I believe, against Ed Glynn, who actually had a 1-4 record with a 3 ERA, so he was pretty decent. Mike Ivy now. That's a 9. Patient 40. A patient 40 against a lefty is going to be a single again. Soft blooper into short left field. Runner on first advances 2 bases. Runner on second scores. 3-1. Scoring is Strain. Going to third is Clark. On the Ivy single, runners on first and third. That's 4 consecutive hits and 2 runs by Glynn, who's a long reliever, so he can allow 1 more run before he goes to his fatigue card. So here's Darrell Evans, lefty on lefty. It's a 5, in play 61. An in play 61. It's going to be a grounded to short. We rolled a 5. It's a double play there. It's a double play there. You look at double play under both cards. And so it's going to be I said it was a what? 61 is a 6-4-3 double play. And that retires the side. But unfortunately, the Giants pick up 2 runs in the top of the 9th. They lead it 3-1 now. So the Mets are 3 outs away from losing their 10th in the last 11 games. It's going to be Tom Griffin. Tom Griffin pitching For the Giants, Griffin had 2 saves in 59 games. He was a 5-6 record with a 3.91 ERA. Here's Flores. That's a 7, a tough 0-9. A tough 0-9 against a right is a strikeout. Flores down swinging. 1 out. Youngblood, who's 0 for 3. That's a 6. Patient, a patient 50. Going to be a single. So Youngblood is on with a single. That brings the tying run to the plate, and Frankie Taveras. That's a 9. Ballpark 17 is going to be wheelhouse, because for a righty the ballpark is between 1 and 33, so it's a 17. It's a wheelhouse. So 1 to 2 is a home run. 3 to 7 is a double. 8 is a triple. And that's a 32. That's going to be a single. And that's a sharp liner. Drops in front of the left fielder. Runners advance 1 base. First and second, only 1 out. And it's the Mets' best hitter. So first and second, it's a 3-1 game. Giants are up. We're in the bottom of the 9th. There's 1 out, and it's Lee Mazzilli. Lee Mazzilli's 1 for 3. He's hit into a fielder's choice, flied out, singled, and was intentionally walked. Here's the pitch from Griffin as a snake eyes wheelhouse. That's a cocked eye. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that. Now, usually I tap the building. All right. In other words, I tap the tower. I go like this. But if I do that, I believe the 8 is going to fall over. There he goes. It's 86 instead of 06. And that's just kind of how I do it. So 86, it's a wheelhouse 86 versus a righty. It's going to be an outrange. And that may be a double play. And it is. 6-4-3. Game over. Mets lose their 10th game in the last 11 games. But they made it exciting until the end. And I'll do the line score for you. And then I got to fly. All right, it's going to be the Giants win it by a score of 3-1. They had 3 runs, 13 hits, no errors, 11 left on base. The Mets, 1 run, 10 hits, no errors, 11 left on base. And the winning pitchers didn't happen until late in the game. So the winning pitcher for, I believe, is Greg Minton. I believe for the Giants is Greg Minton, and the losing pitcher, I believe, is Neil Allen. But it could be Ed Glynn. I have to double check that. I'm going to double check that right now. Let me see. No, you know what? The 2 runs were scored off Glynn. Neil Allen actually didn't give up any runs. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to check that. And it's Ed Glynn loses it. That's the 2nd consecutive night that Ed Glynn loses a game, I believe. Got to go back and check. But the Mets are frozen at 29 victories, and that's going to be it. So I'm going to sign out, and I will see you guys perhaps tomorrow. I don't know. They're playing a 4-game series versus San Francisco. I may play a couple of games by myself and then stream the last game. Hope you enjoyed it. It was a pretty exciting game until the end. Mets lose it, unfortunately.